I got the Nest thermostat. I got an old house built in the 60s. So I got this guy in case there's a train wreck behind there. I can put that underneath there. This was cheap off Amazon, like 15 bucks or something. I also got the Nest off of Amazon. I already installed the Nest Protect, and it works fine so far. This is good packaging, where it's taped up here, but it's also like an easy pull tab to get this off. The same thing was on the Nest Protect. Alright, it's a nice little cover case. Nest Protect also had that. They got their packaging down here at Old Nest. So it says remove this, so I did. Small, tiny little filler. Oh, that's cool. Much like the ring, it comes with its own tools. You got your screwdriver, and your screws. Well, that device even has a little level built into it. That's great. That thing's tiny. Yeah, see, so in theory, you put this guy here, and then this goes on top, so you'd have that covering up any holes in the wall, which I probably will have. Well, crap, I didn't realize it came with its own. Well, hell. Alright, so apparently I'll probably send this one back. Well, I guess we'll see if this covers it or not. Alright, install with this side away from walls. That's really cool. They did that with the Nest Protect as well. It tells you, kind of makes it idiot proof, right? Professional insulation. I'm gonna try it myself. I actually have a thermostat guy coming today. Thermostat guy. I have a heating and air conditioning guy coming today, and he's just do a tune-up of my air conditioner. So I'm gonna try to install this first, and that way if I mess it up, the professional can save the day. Turn off my power first. So I have an old house with an old thermostat, and I got lucky. My breaker's not labeled. I got lucky, and I found it on the first try. You can see how the wires are tight in there. And by turning the power off, and the first breaker switch seemed to kill it. So hopefully I don't electrocute myself. So now I gotta figure out how to get this thing off. So there appears to be like a little indent guy right there. I'm just gonna try to pull that off with force using this little Nest screwdriver. As you can tell, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I clearly don't clean my thermostat. I cracked this open with brute force, and nothing happened. There's some screws back here. I'm just gonna have to hope I can get to those. Alright, so I got it off. You can see how old these wires look. I don't know what those letters mean. I'm gonna hope they just match up. Once again, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Now I've got this here. It's not very pretty. The wall's not very pretty. It's in from my forever house, so it's not really that big a deal. Alright, now to see if the Nest plate covers that mess up. So the good news is the Nest plate does cover it up, sorta, but not this guy. Oh, even the logo still has that one showing. So, probably just gonna use the Nest square plate and just take that guy out. So, Nest has these stickers to relabel these things. Problem is, they don't really match up. Mine says Y and W and R as opposed to RC or RH. Obviously, the angle mine was, I couldn't get to it. You can see there, it still just says WYG, and there's an R and RC. I don't know which one was on, so this will be fun. So I googled what's the difference between RH and RC, and that looks like exactly like my old thermostat that came up in the picture, which is pretty funny. Alright, so apparently RH and RC means red cooling and red hot. And there should be a jumper tying the two together on old systems. Looks like there was this little metal bracket tying these together here, so that makes sense. Now to figure out where that goes on the Nest. Alright, it looks like if you only have one R wire, you can pick it to either side. It doesn't matter. So that's cool. One thing Nest doesn't come with that that it did come with for the ring, which I still have, so I didn't need it for my ring, but I'm going to use this for this Nest. Alright, so I did make a big hole here whenever I took that out, so I gotta fix that, which is gonna suck. But I'm gonna go ahead and install this now and fix that later. Alright, so I got this plate on, and I gotta fix this later, of course. 2 screws here, the Nest screws into these holes, and it's gonna be a hard fit, but we'll see how it works. So this part seems super simple. All I really do is push this down, and there's a little hole inside there. So you see that sticks on there like this. Alright, one tiny screw there. I got that just stuck up there and looks like it's level according to the built-in level. Now try to get these wires in these holes and we'll see how that works. Alright, so you can see, just push them in there like that. Basically, we're trying to straighten this guy out. And try to balance this. It's probably not going to look very pretty, but push that down, stick it in there. Alright, so got that there. I'll say it's my only concern is that there's a lot of bare wire showing. I don't have much to do besides that. Oh shit. Try it like that and we'll see how it works. So the instructions say after you connect the wires just to attach this display. All it does is clip on in this little bottom guy. So I got the display on. And now I'm going to turn the power back on and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't explode. Apparently I did have the power on anyhow, so that's great. Alright, so it appears to be working. So again, this is going to be wobbly. Well, it seems like that's not a good way to do it. Alright, there was a QR code to scan instead of typing all that in. So it said I could find an entry key, but I could not find that Nest app anywhere. So I had to connect it to my Wi-Fi manually, which really sucked. I had to connect it to the Wi-Fi, and then instead of saying Nest app, it said Nest account. After that, it connected pretty easily. Yeah, there we go. Came pretty quick, actually. It was out of stock in the store. Don't see it on Amazon. It's like 40 bucks, I think. $39.99. So essentially, it's just this little guy. So my house, 1,600 square feet, maybe 1,000 square feet, something like that. It's built in 1960. Ranch with a basement. Nest is in the hallway. I feel like the hallway is not an accurate representation of my temperatures. So it seems like I feel like the temperature it may run my air too much or not enough. So like this thing you should be able to put into a different room and then it will add. I can use this as the sensor for the air conditioner and or heater. Pop right up. It's pretty simple. I watched somebody else's YouTube video on this to figure out what it was or how it even worked. Open my Nest app. I have that's my Nest thermostat, and then I have two protects, one upstairs and one downstairs. So this up a little card that tells you what to do. It's basically, it's not a lot to do here. Just this device, a screw. That's pretty much it. Not really any instructions. I guess there's instructions here. There's a warranty. So it says open the Nest app, tap the gear icon, add the Nest temperature sensor. So I'm going to click on add product, scan this barcode. It's on the back of this thing. It's like it scanned it. Alright, next. So I need to pull this sticker out. Pull this little guy out so the battery works now. Alright, so I added it to it. No, I already did that, I guess. Alright, so I gotta find the room. The basement's not a good room, it's where I am now. Alright, it's connected to my hallway thermostat, so that's good. I'm in the basement, it's in the hallway, so I'm not really close to it, still found it, so that's good. It's just checking over Wi-Fi soon. So I'm gonna put this in the living room, I assume. Family room, living room. I'm not gonna drill a hole in the wall, I'm just gonna lay it down flat. And hit done. So now, alright, so I'm in the basement right now. So my hallway is 74, and they're saying my basement is 73. Well, I mean, it's living room, but this is the only one I got, so. Temperature sensors. So that would be if I wanted to, like, say I wanted to go by this guy during the daytime, that nighttime run off the hallway. For now, I'm just going to leave it how it is. And then I'm going to change it to the living room. I'm going to place this in the living room, and I'm going to see how it adjusts throughout the day. I'll check back in a day or so. Alright, so here we are. I actually made that video a year ago. The one we just saw there, right? You can see the dates. That is June, I guess, when I got that one. But I had April 19th of when I got the actual Nest install. And then I know some temperature funkiness, so I got the sensor in a year later. Now let's just look at so here's the Nest website, which is pretty much a mirror image of the Nest app. Or at least this part is, which is pretty cool. So you can see here's my home, here's my temperature in the hallway, here's my Protects, which is my my smoke detector, carbon monoxide checker. You can see history, you can tell everything's cool. If you watch my Protect video, it did actually go off one time when some people were working on stuff, so I know it works, which is pretty cool. Now if we look at the actual thermostat, you notice my living room is cooler than my hallway. So right now, the AC would be cranking, but instead it's not. That's how it's black here. You can tell it's not running. If it was set in the hallway still, it'd be running. Which, my hallway's small, so it's not an accurate representation. So this is good that it's showing this 72% here, right? If you look at history, you can see, I think the blues when the air conditioner was running, and the reds when the heat's been running. And this will tell you this day's weather caused below the average, whatever, right? And if you want to set up a schedule, you can do it here. This is the schedule that it kind of auto makes for me, which is pretty accurate. At nighttime, I like it cool. During the day, I don't want the AC pumping. And then you can change your mode here if you want heat to cool or just heat, right? In the wintertime, I switch it to just heat. In the summertime, just cool. But this time of year. When it's cold at night and hot during the day, you gotta have this heat and cool option. Works pretty good. Eco, it's just when it tells you, you can set it to be like an energy saving mode. Fan would be if you just want the fan to run by itself. And that's pretty much all there is to it. If you check the settings, there's a lot more you can do. Uh, you can see there's just tons and tons of stuff in here. I see this airwave a lot. That's why it runs the fan shortly afterwards. But ultimately, this has worked pretty good for me. This tells you how it's wired up, so that's pretty good too, right? It's a pretty good amount of detail here in this website. You can manage your sensors, right? You can change things around. So I've been a fan of it, and I got to say, I definitely think it has made a difference in my energy consumption. I don't have any bills to show you examples. You just got to take my word for it. I feel like year over year, I've seen lower bills. Not drastically. It's probably paid for itself though. If nothing else, I am a adult and I got three kids in the house, and now I don't have to worry about them messing with the temperature. I remember as a kid, my father used to get super pissed when we messed with the temperature, and I thought he was just being a jerk. Now that I pay the bills, I'm like, don't touch that thermostat. This is my thermostat. So with this Nest thermostat, I'm able to check on it. I can tell if someone's changed stuff. My phone, I can look at my phone anytime. I travel for work, so I'm out of town. I can see what the house temperature set on. It's really good for keeping an eye on things. I'm a big fan. Wasn't that expensive. It's pretty easy setup. I've had it for a year. I've had like maybe two instances where it like just kicked on a weird temperature. It didn't make any sense. Like in the middle of the winter, the air conditioner was pumping. I just turned it off and turned it back on, and it was fine after that. But for the most part, I think it's pretty solid. Sometimes the auto sensing doesn't work so great. Either way, it's been pretty good for me. I like it. I recommend it. I haven't tried the other competitors like the Echo B or whatever, or is that what it's called? I guess so. I didn't get the Ring cameras because I already had I didn't get the Nest cameras because I already had the Ring cameras. Had I not already had the Ring, I probably would have got the Nest cameras just because this works so good. Currently, my house, I have Nest thermostat, Nest smoke detector, and a Ring doorbell camera and floodlight camera. And between those, everything works good. I don't have any conflicts, and I like that's me dipping my toe into the smart home world. And so far, I like it a lot. If we move and get a bigger house, I'll probably go all in. And this is nothing new. You've probably seen it before, but this is 1 year in, and it's been pretty good for me. So I highly recommend it. All right, thanks for checking me out.